On this episode, we face the master race in an epic struggle for survival. Welcome to Save Every Universe. My name is Ale Garcia, one of your co-hosts. I am a pizza mascot with a yo-yo.
That's it, huh?
That's it.
All right. And I'm Robbie. I'm a Vietnam veteran in my twilight years who must now make the ultimate sacrifice to save my 3 friends from the zombie horde.
Interesting. And today with us, we have a special guest. We call him Rhino. I can never remember his real name. Just kidding. His name is Ryan, but we'll call him Rhino. Yeah. Welcome to the show, my friend.
Hey, I'm Rhino, and I'm cramming pills down my gullet. It's the only thing that keeps me going is the ghosts of my past haunt me.
Nice, man. Welcome to the show. Today we are talking about PC gaming versus console gaming. The PC gamers are affectionately known, I'm told, as the PC master race of gaming, hence the introduction there. And Rhino is a PC, pretty almost exclusive PC gamer. You dabble in Wii and Switch and that kind of thing, but pretty much it's
he
PC
played Halo.
for you.
Yeah, I was pretty big in the when the 360 first came out. I don't know. Primarily, it's only PC, and I don't have a lot of friends because of it.
Well, Rhino's a big PC enthusiast, and in college was one of the people who taught me how to build a PC. We were in a clan together, I'll call it a Counter-Strike clan, but we played all kinds of shit. And so I thought he was a good choice to bring on.
Yeah, definitely. Do you play Battlegrounds? PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds?
I downloaded it. It's sitting in my Steam library. I have yet to open it.
We talked about it in our beta episode, and I've been like fanboying just on the YouTube. I don't have a PC, so I've been kind of lurking on YouTube watching shitloads of gameplay, and it looks so amazing. It makes me wish I had a PC. So,
well, I mean, the master race is open to all.
The arms are open to accept me. Nice.
Okay,
what do you have on the docket today, Robbie?
Let's just get right into it, okay? Let's just talk about why the beef. What's with the rivalry between PC and console? Because there is, if you only do one or the other and you've never done both or whatever, and you have that moment when you run into somebody from the other side, we'll say,
right?
There's a tension, you're both not gamers.
Yeah.
You think oh yeah, we're all gamers, we play the same game. Even if it's the same game, it's oh, what do you play it on? PC? Oh, you're one of those guys. There's something about the PC guys who kind of have this elitist, I mean, who calls themselves
and we talked in our hardcore versus casual episode about how people who are quote hardcore console gamers sort of look at people who are mobile gamers, or they're oh, I play Candy Crush or whatever. Those people are casuals. People who play mobile shit are casuals.
Right.
But to PC people, a lot of them, they're oh, you're a casual because you only play this game on Xbox or whatever. Do you have a thought on that?
I started on the Commodore 64 when I think I was 2 years old.
Yeah, wow.
I had an original NES. I was part of the N64, GoldenEye and Mario Kart 64 craze. I love consoles. It's just...
So, we've talked to you before, though, especially about Battlefield, because I love Battlefield, but I only play it on the console, and I know you love Battlefield, too, and we've talked, oh, man, isn't this great? It's we can never play together.
Right.
And why would I get that on console? Because da-da-da-da-da. So what is it that you love so much about playing those types of games on PC?
There's a return. The amount of money you put into whatever rig you're running, you can get some stunning graphic payback, so to speak. If I'm going to put that much money into something and I'm going to put that much time into something, I want it to look just ridiculous, just retardedly beautiful.
Yeah.
And so, you have, unfortunately with PCs, you have these crappy ports that were originally, console games, and they try to, wrench it into the PC world. But that being said, you still have graphics.
Right.
You got to tighten up the graphics.
So is it not the controls, the precision of the mouse and all that stuff that people talk about? Is it more the being able to trick out your gear and get the best visual performance?
I was going to bring that up, but I didn't want to talk out of turn.
We're all about talking out of turn.
I prefer a keyboard and mouse. There's more precision, and you look at, there's a lot of hardcore console people, especially with FPSs, where they'll have mods or pieces of equipment that allow them to adapt a keyboard and mouse to their console.
Yeah, I was just watching some videos about that, about how Battlefield, with particularly Battlefield 1, that has become more of a trend recently, that people are mouse and keyboarding on PlayStation 4, and it's not a level playing field anymore is what these people are
doing. Right. As far as I know, with a controller, I mean, you have auto aiming to a certain degree.
Right.
Yep.
You have snapback. You have, a whole bunch of different designs that come in to make up for not having that precision.
Right.
Yeah, I know. I've read several articles, especially about games that are like on all the platforms, where the developers from Steam or even from Blizzard. I saw an article about Overwatch where they were saying, "No, we're not going to make it cross-platform. That's not fair." Like the guys on console would get destroyed.
Right.
And you'll see patches that come out where they're like, "We fixed this on the console, but not the PC, because fuck those guys. They can figure it out." Like it was like they don't need any more help. Okay.
Yeah.
But the guys on the console, it's like it has training.
We got to
wheels
give
or
them a
something.
hand.
Yeah, they need some help. They can't be expected to counteract this with just their mere joysticks or
Right.
whatever.
Well, you think about it. Yeah, we consider, it's a play, but we're elitists and whatnot. But a console is an entry level thing.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone can go to a store, pick it up, plug it in, and start playing.
Right.
You could do the same with a computer, but you're not going to have a great experience. I could go get my e-machines from Walmart or a Dell,
Right.
but you have to put more time and thought and setup into a PC for the most part.
Right. So when I first started dating who's now my wife, her brother had gotten like a gaming PC, and he was showing it to me. And to me, at that point, before I knew anything about it, it was like looking into the engine of a car. I knew more about cars than I knew about that. I was like, what? He's like, oh, and look at this, and this is a 13 gigawatt whatever, and I was like, I don't know what any of this shit means. And he's like, it's got 8 gigs it didn't have 8 gigs of RAM. This was too long ago, but whatever. He was like rattling off all the specs, and I was like, does it play good? Like, I don't, because mine works. And then when I started gaming with you guys, I had an HP Pavilion, whatever, that was like my college tower, and then you guys had to go through and like, all right, bring up your device manager. What do you have in this thing? What's under the hood? Okay, this is pretty. Oh, no. We got to get you a new video card. How much money you got? No, this is shit. And I was like, but I just want to play World of Warcraft. No, don't even fucking go online ever again. Don't even launch Internet Explorer with this piece of shit.
Don't talk to me, please.
So you guys had to like...
There is a much more hardware aspect to it, though.
Yeah.
Like car guys geeking out on what's under the hood and on that kind of thing. There is much more of that component. You geek out as much on the hardware as you do on the game.
Yeah, exactly. It's an enthusiast level thing,
Right?
It's a hobby,
right?
That's pure and simple. You get into a circle jerk, no doubt. It's like I overclocked my computer to I've got a 5 gigahertz overclock right now.
Yeah,
and everyone's like, well, that's neat. Can you watch YouTube?
Right.
And that's probably where I fell short in the PC gaming realm. Like I liked building a rig, I know how to do it. And then you would be like, well, have you overclocked it yet? Why? Like, why the fuck would I melt my shit?
Well,
like,
I remember
that's
when...
a $400 video card. I'm not going to start fucking with it.
Of course you are. Why not?
You're like, you should put it in water. I found this new technique where you put it on your roof, right? Here's you orient it north. As long as it doesn't rain, it's going to run 0.01 gigahertz faster. And that's fucking measurable.
Gains. Yes.
Well, I'm not going to do that shit. Well, I fucking did, and it works great.
Well, I remember when, Final Fantasy 13 came out, and they had the benchmark, and you and your brother had gotten fairly updated. You just built
14. Yeah, it was
14, yeah. I had just built new computers, and they had a benchmark for it. And I had a relatively older computer. I would be like, what did you get? What did you get? And
yeah, you were like texting us screenshots. You're like,
explain benchmark real quick.
Well,
okay.
It's a set, scripted, so to speak, movie. It just goes through and renders the graphics and tests the
It's like
performance.
A stress test.
It's a stress test, yeah. It tests the performance of your video card, your RAM.
Of like, here's the level that your system needs to be to run this at optimal performance.
Well, it's not just that. It it actually runs a program. It kind of puts your system through the ringer and measures how it performs.
And it gives you a score at the end based on whatever metric they're running.
Gotcha.
But, score is a big dick measuring contest with us, so...
Yeah.
So I would constantly get back with Robbie and Jim. What'd you get? And
I got 5 more FPS this time.
Yeah, my machine was practically on fire. I think at one point I was running at 100 degrees on the CPU. But I won. I won.
I guess you won. You don't even play 14 anymore. You played it for like a month.
I played the benchmark like almost exclusively. Hell of a game.
I beat the benchmark. I won.
I had been to the top of the mountain, and that was that.
So I do want to come back to one thing we were talking about with the controllers. Mm-hmm. So everyone is like, well, PC clearly has the edge on the controllers. And I will say that I believe that. It's a lot faster. as somebody who's played both. And I even hooked up, I had an adapter because I wanted to use an Xbox One controller on a PS4. But it works for keyboard and mouse. And just for shits, I did a keyboard and mouse, like played Destiny for a round. And I felt dirty. Like I immediately I did it one round and I was like, I am not doing that again.
Yeah.
I did feel like cheating.
Yeah.
But that being said, how many jackoffs have we played with on the PC that you know with a controller, you'd still whoop their ass?
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, for sure.
I feel like it's a cop-out a little bit. Like, everyone who plays PC is like, well, I play keyboard and mouse, so I could clearly devastate you on the battlefield. It wouldn't even be fair.
You suck.
I'm like, dude,
yeah.
I would say 90% of the people I go up against in any shooter, they don't know their dicks from their assholes.
No.
And I would wreck them with a controller.
One, we don't all talk like that. Okay.
Yeah, you do. Yes, you do. You taught me to talk like that.
I would say that it really depends. There's a lot of games on the PC. Go to right away. I won't even touch keyboard and mouse. I'll fire up my Xbox controller and go that way. So I like having the versatility of both. I think you have a point there, though, that you can give someone a Ferrari and put them in a race, and they're just going to crash into the wall.
They don't know how to drive. They don't know how to drive.
Paul Walker themselves. Yeah.
Too soon.
So
you could beat them with a Ford Ranger in a race.
Yeah,
because they suck.
It's skill. I mean, if if you're pointing down and shooting and too busy spraying dicks on the wall, to pay attention to the team,
that can be a strategic important part.
And it has been.
I think that's a good point. Like, there's a YouTuber that I'm like really into lately, who's a Battlefield 1 guy, The Broken Machine. Shout out. And I didn't realize
a guest for us. I'm just kidding.
He will. Broken Machine, if you can hear this, come be on our podcast. But I was watching him play, and I didn't realize at first a lot of his videos are labeled PS4 Pro gameplay or whatever. And I think he plays mostly on PlayStation. But the way he was playing was just like blowing my mind, and I was like, I have to get a PC. Like I need that precision. I got to play that way. And then I found out he's like almost all PlayStation, and it can be done, like if that skill level's there. Yeah.
It's just the tools maketh not the man.
Yeah, all right. I do agree with you that there's some games I cannot play on console. So one game I played quite a bit on, but more on PC, was Left 4 Dead, and there was a console version of it, and it was good, but I don't know. I
would agree with that. Actually, that was one of the very last games I boot camped my Mac and to play Left 4 Dead with mouse and keyboard and stuff.
Right.
And then I also got it on Xbox. Not the same at all.
No, a lot of the Valve games I can't touch them on console, even though they come out a lot of times on console.
I would agree with that.
Like, I can't even imagine trying to play. Oh, I tried playing Overwatch on the PS4, and I was like,
I couldn't get into that one.
What is happening? Like, I just played as Mercy because I was like, I don't even want to.
Well, and the Orange Box too, when they came out with that, like it felt wrong being on a console.
I was watching a YouTube video. I watch a lot of gaming videos, and I was watching someone that was just had some brief footage of Half-Life 2, and you could immediately tell that it was on a console.
Yeah.
Everything was very linear. X's and Y's. There was really no movement. And granted, we're talking about, a 200-year-old game at this point.
Yeah.
But still.
But Half-Life 3 is going to be
good.
But,
so, like, they
Dude.
That's even more inappropriate.
Let it go.
Paul Walker joke. Okay.
In this circle, yes. Like, Robbie always makes fun of me. I've trackpadded on my Mac since they brought Half-Life 2 over onto
Weren't we just talking about casuals?
Right. So
casuals.
But I've trackpadded my way through Half-Life 2 twice, start to finish. I would rather do that than play it on a console. Like, there's some games that just feel wrong on a console.
Yeah.
We did play Half-Life 1 on the PlayStation 2. Do you remember that?
It was terrible.
It was awful.
It was so bad.
Awful.
Yeah.
It shouldn't count. It feels like we played like some Chinese knockoff, but it was legitimately Half-Life.
Yeah.
It was terrible.
It was a bad
terrible experience. Do you think? All right, I was on the subreddit that has called itself the PC Master Race or whatever, right?
A beautiful subreddit, yes.
Did they come up with the term? Did you hear it before that? That's the first time
First time I think I had heard it was, and it's said tongue-in-cheek. It really is, but people really get a hard-on about it. I think the first time, it might have been where it's from, is Zero Punctuation Yahtzee.
Oh, okay.
Has, called them the PC Master Race.
Okay.
And he plays all, so, but, we're so high on our own farts. That's basically what it comes down to.
So anyway, a lot of articles on that. I mean, if you click on like what we're about or whatever and read just kind of the about the thread, they talk about how it's like a fucking conspiracy, man, and like the consoles are bringing you down and the PC can do everything better. And the only reason that it is the way, they called it like consoleware and the console industry. I mean, it was kind of like it was funny. Maybe they're right. I don't know. I haven't.
Well, there is a false flag operation. No, I'm just kidding.
But I realized there was a bunch of threads that were like, is it actually more expensive? Is it actually more accessible? Is it, you know what I mean, to be a console gamer versus a PC gamer?
Cost-wise, I can build a rig. I had that rig that I had mentioned with the benchmarks. I built that in 2010, and it only recently died a year ago, and it was because of a bad power supply. So kids, don't scrimp on your power supply; it will wreck everything else. But
it held performance reasonably, kept pace with new games.
You know, he says it was old, but it was still running better than like an Xbox One or a PS4.
Exactly,
I mean, it ran great.
So I mean, if you put thought into it, it's going to last longer. You know, and the games are still going to be there. You know, and you'll see people in the Reddits. You know, like I had said, you know, they'll make a game, you know, exclusively for the console, and then they'll port it to the PC. And,
right.
You know, and like you had said earlier, they'll figure it out. You know, all the patches go somewhere else. So there is that aspect. But I mean, to the cost and everything, you spend the initial investment and you do it smartly, it's going to last you.
I think that there is some truth to that. I don't think it's as intimidating as it should be. It's so much easier now to build a PC than it used to be. There's websites that kind of walk you through it, even like CyberPower. You can build like really nice machines. Sometimes it's even cheaper, like my wife's machine. I priced it out on Newegg, and it was actually cheaper to go through CyberPower.
So have them do it for you.
Yeah, I had them do it. And then
maybe even a little warranty on that.
Yeah. But that being said, there's something intimidating, and I think, Alec, maybe you'd agree, that like, of cracking something open and just changing it.
I actually am very attracted to the gear side of it. But
are you?
I sometimes I go on and it's like PC porn. Like I go on and I like browse and I look at PCs and I'm like, ooh, that's a hot one. That's a hot one. And I just like stare at them. I can't like quite make the jump because I know it's this black hole that will just eat all my money.
Yes, it will.
It can. It doesn't have
I'm kind of scared of it a little bit.
If it becomes a hobby.
Yeah.
If it becomes a hobby.
Yeah.
You know, you don't have to have the latest and greatest. You don't have to have, 1080 Ti and,
Right.
But I mean, if that's your hobby, you're gonna blow money and.
But after not having a PC for so long, like I would not be able to control myself. I would have to buy like the hottest damn thing I could buy.
Oh, and then you do stupid
stuff. It scares me.
Man.
So I look at them, I browse them, and I build them online, and then I gotta walk away. And turn off,
Do you really?
Yeah. Because like Battlefield 1, dude. Oh my gosh, I love that game so much, and hands down, I think I would rather play it on PC.
I would rather you play it on PC.
Well, I have a PC. I just don't have the game.
I would rather. I'll buy it for you. It's already there. I installed it while you were blinking.
What?
That's right.
I just, one thing I like about being comfortable with PCs is it's made it easier to modify my console. Right. When I bought the cheap PlayStation from GameStop and was like, oh, I'll just swap the hard drives. And you're like, what do you mean you just swapped the hard drives? And I was like, I just cracked that.
You actually get a skill set from.
Yeah. I was like, I just backed up the system and I downloaded this patch and I put this on.
I have no idea how to do.
And it's easy. It really is. I mean, YouTube and it like walks you through stuff step by step. But I think if you haven't done it, there is like a wall. There's like a...
Oh, it's that way with anything. Are you afraid to open your gas cap to put fucking gas in?
I think if you took, like Ryan, what you were saying about like the dollars, if you actually took the dollars that people spend on consoles, for the people who buy like multiple controllers and they buy a PS4 Pro and they buy a 4K TV and all that shit, if you were to take like pretty decent tower with like a decent monitor, it's going to be cheaper actually, probably overall.
On the hardware side, and then if you look on the software side as well, I mean... I know this gets touted a lot in the aforementioned subreddit, but we have Steam.
Right.
And, being able to get a Steam sale, this summer's was complete shit, by the way.
But, I feel like it's been shitty for the last couple of years.
Yeah, but generally speaking, I mean, you're able to get the game you want at a super cheap price. And I guess some of the console stores are trying to get that model.
It's definitely going that way.
But, it's nice to be able to get a $5 game or, just download it.
There are some great sales, and especially with like Humble Bundle and things like that.
Definitely Humble Bundle. I forgot about that.
Green Man Gaming sometimes has great sales. Like I've gotten a lot of cheaper games that were new or had only been out a month, and you got it for way cheaper.
Right.
I do think there's a pride aspect in it because I'm not as much of an enthusiast as Rhino, but there is something about being able to pull my tower apart, be like, this is a power supply issue, order the part, fix it, fire it up and watch it turn on. Like, that's satisfying. That's probably what a mechanic feels like too.
Yeah.
But like, you built it, you worked on it, you figured it out. You know how to fix it. Like, there is something kind of badass about that.
Well, and there is something kind of interesting about that division, though, because it's like with Xbox, like Xbox and PlayStation have gone, like Xbox, their whole thing was like mainstream, we're going to be your entertainment hub in the center of your family and all that shit. And it was like the consoles have succeeded in going mainstream, and you can get like Netflix and it hooks up straight to your TV and all that stuff. So I think there is like a more mainstream acceptability. When you buy a PC, you are choosing to like adopt a hobby, and you're choosing to venture out into nerddom a little bit, is like what it feels like from if you're not in that camp.
I can see that. And, I mean, a lot of people may think, well, then I have to be at the desk.
Right.
I have to be right here at the desk, and that a lot of people don't like to be stationary, even though you are on the couch. I don't know. It's not like you're running around.
Yeah. But I mean, they're bullshit arbitrary lines, but like watching Netflix for 6 hours is more socially acceptable than sitting at the computer for 6 hours playing a video game.
I think it's interesting,
but there's like a cultural
that stigma
around it.
of being in front of the computer, and kind of long reaching. I mean,
so
we haven't been pocket protector wearers for at least 15 years.
Yeah. But that stigma is still there. That's kind of fascinating. Yeah.
I think you have to learn a little bit. Not much, and it's way easier than it used to be, but there still is a learning requirement.
Yeah.
I mean, think about how like our LANs with consoles versus LANs with like PCs.
Yeah.
In PC LANs, I had to learn fucking networking skills on top of my hardware.
Right.
On top of.
It's gotten easier, but I remember our LAN days back in college. Our college days.
Yeah.
You would have to go up, you'd have to bring a switch, you would have to have everyone on the same subnet, and it's relatively easy stuff, but if you don't know it, it's not as easy as turning on the console, being plugged into the same network,
right?
Which was back then, when we played Halo 1 on the original Xbox.
Yeah.
It's even easier now. I have an internet connection.
Right.
We can play.
Right.
And it's, it's that way for the PC now, but you're right. I mean, back in the day, there was a lot more to getting things going.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the flip side of that, though, now is somebody who knows that shit. I get frustrated, like, if I can't get the console to work. I'm like, I want to dig into this bitch and, like, figure out what's going on, and I can't. I'm like, isn't there some tool, something? Like, I want to start fucking with my IP.
Yeah.
I want to run some IP config on this. Nothing.
No.
Well, I think where I dropped from the consoles, for the most part, is when I could no longer really do that. Xbox One, I had modded the hell out of my original Xbox.
And I mean, that's probably why they changed all of it, is because people like you. But like, but really, like, but yeah, there was an era where you could mod consoles to a certain degree.
I cracked it open. I had, I had soldered new video inputs. I had a variable fan control. I had a 500 gig hard drive. I mean, you could really get into it, and I guess you can to some extent for the 360. But I mean, it's getting harder and harder. I mean,
when they're locking you out, and wasn't there that guy who like was teaching people to do it and got like jail time or something like that? You remember that?
Oh, I know.
Sony, the PS4 guy, the guy who was like hacking all these PS4s.
That was the thing though. For a long time, it was like modyourxbox.com, and it was like they would teach you how to do it, and they would sell you like little solder kits and stuff like that.
Yeah. I mean, that's always cat and mouse. I mean, that would probably be a good subject for you guys, as the mod industry and consoles.
Yeah.
But, that's when I got out of it, and you're right though. I mean, that's what's so great about having a PC is you can jump in, XYZ isn't working, run this command.
Right.
You don't have everything's so streamlined and idiot proof.
I remember my grandfather complaining. He was a mechanic when he worked, and he was complaining about modern cars, like everything was in like plastic
boxes. That's what it was reminding me of, yeah.
And he was like, I can't even work on this thing. Like, it's all warranted and in these black boxes.
They have to plug it in and calibrate the computer system and all kinds of stuff.
He's like, I can't even just fix this. Like, that kind of how the consoles are now.
Yeah.
Like, you void your warranty if you even open it. But what do you think about you have a son now who's like able to play games.
Yeah.
Do you find like the console an easier place to teach him?
Well, the kid's a filthy casual and only uses mobile games.
He's not even 4 yet.
No, he loves my laptop. He really loves my laptop.
Yeah.
Being able to move, he loves pressing the keyboard and moving the mouse around. I mean, he's incredibly proficient on mobile devices. I mean, what he grew up with, so to speak.
Right.
And it's easy for little hands.
Yeah.
Console-wise is a little something else. I mean, he's got good hand-eye coordination, but we'll be playing Breath of the Wild on Switch. We were talking about this earlier.
Yeah.
And he'll be like, I want to play. And you give it to him, and he runs in circles and then jumps off a cliff 500 times. And then he's like, no, you play. I'm not doing so good. You play. With the computer, he's got a little more dexterity, and, you know, he's better with it.
Interesting.
Yeah, see, my son has been playing Wii U, and I taught him how to play Smash, and he can actually win matches, and he can win Mario Kart. He's playing Breath of the Wild. He hasn't gotten off the first island yet, but he's beat a shrine. I keep watching him do scraps, and I'm like, he's going to die, but he actually like wins in the end. But I'm like nervous to let him sit at my PC, and just, one, because it's expensive, and I don't want him fucking up my keyboard, but two, because it just feels like it would be harder. That being said, every time I like leave it, if I just walk away, he jumps in my chair and is like trying to play it.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it's just it's probably on me then more. I just need to let him try it out. Maybe it's not as
You
much.
have to train people to dumb down to use consoles for the most part. You know, it's the natural urge to want to excel and to better yourself.
Okay.
You know,
So consoles play to our baser.
Yeah,
nature.
I mean,
Yeah.
So when he's ready to grow up, I should switch him to a PC.
you should, you know, let him get out of diapers and, you know, maybe wet the bed a few times, but he'll get through it, you know?
Maybe that's good advice.
That's about our time. Rhino, do you have any final thoughts for us, sir? Closing thoughts?
I do both. You know, I'm not big on fan service. I encourage anyone that is into a console. Most people have PCs. Jump on them. Download a game here or there. You'll like it. You'll like it.
Favorite game you're playing right now?
Still Fallout 4.
Nice. Really?
I cannot get past any sort of Bethesda anything.
It's pretty fantastic.
Yeah, and modding games is just the be-all, end-all.
Which is easier on PC.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
I've modded my Fallout 4 a little bit already.
Everyone has giant boobs. That's
Yeah.
the best, even the guys.
I didn't do that mod.
Post-apocalyptic paradise.
Hey, you know,
Yeah.
that's right. Gotta
Robbie?
live for something.
Any closing thoughts for us on this one?
I wish I could pick a side.
Yeah.
I'm sick of dumping money in both. It's fucking expensive to do both. I want to just join a team, but I can't. Like I was like, I'm going to quit PC and I'm just going to go to consoles, and I can't.
Or sell your consoles and just do PC.
Yeah,
or
but I
whatever.
just can't bring myself to quit either team yet.
Yeah.
I don't know how. I have
Yeah.
no fucking money, but I can't quit. And like every time I want to give one up, I'm like, well,
Yeah.
but what about this game or what about this function?
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine having like a shitty PC sitting at my desk. I mean, it's fine. It's not like it's like some souped out whatever, but I couldn't imagine not
Bear
being able
to-
to game
yeah,
on my
yeah,
PC. So until my wife leaves me and I'm living in the gutter
With
I'll
your
probably-
VR room.
with my VR
Oh,
room.
yeah. That's
Yeah.
what it'll be. It'll be like a one-bedroom apartment with a VR room.
But until that day,
Yeah.
I'll probably keep fighting for both.
And all I have to say is the Dark Lords of PC are calling my name. Thank you for listening to Save Every Universe. If you enjoyed this episode, please go listen to every other episode.